Hey y'all, today I am doing a video that was highly requested. In a recent bins haul, I asked, do you want to see a log and look video? And a lot of y'all said yes, so that is what we are doing today. And by the way, I hope I am pronouncing log and look correctly. For those of y'all who said, I don't even know how to spell log and look, let alone know what it is, we're going to start first with a definition of what log and look is. So I actually found this definition on Reddit. I thought it was the best one. Log and look is the term that refers to a particular style. It means layered look in German. Layers of deliberately oversized, casual, quirky, art-to-wear clothing, usually in either neutral, natural fibers or bright, whimsical patterns and colors. Log and look means loose, comfortable, draped layers that don't highlight or draw attention to any body part. It's almost anti-fashion in a way. When I think of log and look, I think of kind of your rich art teacher that you grew up with. You know, it's just like very creative, very artsy, very funky. These are all good keywords, by the way. Other keywords that I would recommend using on log and look brands are creative, artsy, sustainable, bohemian, relaxed, oversized, art to wear, artisan, handcrafted, comfortable, colorful, natural, funky. There are a bunch more, but those are kind of things that this particular demographic is looking for. And so today we're going to go over 10 log and look brands. This is by no means a definitive list, an exhaustive list. There are so many log and look brands out there because there are so many small designers creating clothing in this niche. But I think the 10 that we're going to go over today are ones to know. I've sprinkled in a couple that are going to be easier to find at your thrift store. You may already know about them, but then I've also included a bunch that I didn't know about and I did research on and I've never sold before. So I am not an expert on log and look at all. I, in fact, just learned about the word like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. But living in Portland, I feel like I do come across clothing that fits in this niche more and more often. I'm constantly looking at brands that I come across, and so I thought it would be a good idea to do some research and then share that research with y'all. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. The first brand on this list is Lisa Bane. A lot of brands on this list, or some of them I should say, came from me going to the website called Artful Home, which I'll link down below in case you want to go through it and kind of get a more of a sense of what log and look is and what a lot of these brands are. But Lisa Bane is actually the CEO of Artful Home, but she's also a designer and has a clothing line. Oh, another thing I wanted to note is that I think log and look brands tend to have pretty decent ASPs, average sales prices, but the sell-through rate is not great, especially when you look at it on eBay, all these brands. I'm going to include both what I think the average sales price is for each of those brands, and I did look up what is available versus what has sold on eBay. And so I'll share that information and let y'all make those decisions for yourself based off your business model and your sourcing strategy. That's something that I just noticed about this niche. And so if you're someone who really needs a quick sell-through rate, log and look brands might not be the best for your business model. So anyway, back to Lisa Bane. So her clothing typically sells for about $30 to $75. And on eBay, there are 247 available and 123 sold. Her clothing doesn't have a lot of crazy designs. It's mainly solid colors, and like a lot of log and look brands, they're generally oversized. I really think that this brand, pants and dresses, are going to do the best. So this is a brand I did not know about. Definitely one that is on my radar now, but a good one to know. Okay, the next on my list is one that I've actually come across a few times. I don't know how many times I've sold it, at least once. And of course, log and look brands, all of them are going to be really style and size dependent. Typically, larger sizes are going to do better. More substantial pieces are going to do better, but that is definitely true for this one in particular. So just because you come across one of these brands doesn't mean you should automatically pick it up. And that's been the case with me with this brand, is I've come across some more plain pieces in like, you know, tops and so forth that I actually have passed on, but it's a brand I want to be on the lookout for and pick up more. It's Cynthia Ashby, and it sells reliably for $30 to $80, which is good. On eBay, there are 417 available and 193 sold. And again, you're gonna want to pick up those more substantial pieces. Okay, next on the list is, I think, a really cool one. It's a more funky one, and it's Bluefish. It has a much higher ASP than the previous two, from anywhere from like $50 to up to $150 this brand can sell for, depending on the piece that you find. On eBay, there's 616 available and 274 sold. But Bluefish has been around since the 80s, and the owner / designer actually moved to Italy in 2023 and kind of discontinued Bluefish. I think she might be doing some like pop-up shops and stuff now, but because of this, I think there are a lot of pieces that are rare and sought after by the followers of Bluefish. So this is a brand that really is known for their hand printed details. And I think if you find pieces that have that really prominently featured, they're going to be worth more, especially if they are more substantial pieces like long line tunics or dresses or overalls or something like that. So definitely I'm excited to hopefully one day find Bluefish. I think that's a really fun brand. And that's one reason why I like a lot of these brands on this list, is because they are really fun. Most of these you're not gonna be able to find like style names or stock photos for either. And that's why keywords and being able to describe the piece accurately is really important. Okay, next on this list is one that is more popular, and you're probably gonna be more likely to come across it. I don't think I ever have, or I just didn't know about it, which is probably the case. But now I do. I have seen other resellers sell this, and it's Alamba. It sells a little bit on the lower end, $25 to $50 on average, with some pieces, of course, selling for $70 to $100. And on eBay, there are 1,100 available with 600 sold. Alamba is a popular brand on like Artful Home, etc. Oversized dresses and tunics are some of the best styles by this brand. This definitely fits in the category of art to wear. There are prints and exaggerated pockets and like really fun draping. So definitely, if you find pieces with those elements, it's probably going to do better. Okay, next on the list is a brand, if you have been reselling for a while, you've definitely heard of and probably have sold. It's Flax. And Flax is on the lower end when it comes to ASP these days. I think when I started reselling, it would sell for more, but it sells for about $20 to $50 reliably. It is the most popular and saturated brand on this list, with 18,000 available on eBay and 6,000 sold. They are really known for linen pieces. Linen is a fabric derived from flax. So they've been around for 30 plus years, and something I love about Flax is that on all of their material tags they have like a little positive affirmation, which is really cute. I always include a picture of it when I sell it. This is definitely a brand you're more likely to find, which is why I wanted to include it on the list, because this is a brand that I will almost always pick up if it's for a low price, especially larger styles, and especially more substantial pieces. So dresses do much better than tops, for instance. But if I found a top at the bins, I'd still pick it up. Okay, the next one on this list is a really beautiful brand, and it's definitely one that you're gonna be less likely to come across, but if you do, I would recommend picking it up. It's kind of where LAGENLOOK meets designer. It retails for a lot, $500 to $1,000 per piece, and it resells for a lot, so it resells for like $100 to $400. And that is Mako Mints. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Mako Mints. It's Japanese. She's a Japanese designer who studied in Tokyo, moved to New York in 1999, and started her first storefront in the West Village, and has been doing it ever since. I think now she's in Soho. But she just makes beautiful pieces, and To give you an idea that you're probably not going to come across it much, on eBay there are 56 available and 18 have sold. That's not surprising me since it is a higher price point, but I still think it's definitely worth picking up. One thing to know about this brand is there's often not a brand tag, so like sewn into the back of the collar. It's really usually just a little red size tag, so it's really would be easy to skip if you didn't know what you were looking for. And then on the materials tag it does say the designer's name, and sometimes there's like a little patch on the inside, but if you don't know this brand, this designer, then you might skip it, which would be devastating because it's a good one to know. But she's really known for these quilted, stitched patchwork jackets that are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, next on the list is a brand you may know about. It's definitely in the LAGENLOOK arena, and that is Gundren Showen. Okay, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too, because it is a Swedish name, and the last name is S-J-O-D-E-N, Showen. I'm guessing that's how you say it, but please correct me in the comments down below. I did research, but not enough to know how to pronounce these. This is, again, another more popular brand that you're going to come across. I've sold it a few times. It typically sells really fast, which is great. It's not going to like sell for hundreds of dollars typically, unless you find a coat or something like that, but it does reliably sell for around $30 to $60, which I think is good. And jackets and dresses are going to do best by this brand. This is a Swedish designer, and the brand's been around for almost 50 years. They're known for their colorful, comfortable, natural Nordic design. You definitely see a lot of Nordic details in their clothing. On eBay, there are 8,200 available and 3,100 sold, so it's definitely a more popular brand. Okay, we've got 3 more. I'm making good time. By the way, I look like an inflated balloon and I am breathing heavy. It's because I'm 39 weeks pregnant and this baby is really low. It's supposed to come any minute now, any day now, I should say. She hasn't come yet, but I'm shooting a bunch of videos today so that when the baby does come, I'll have some content for y'all. But anyways, I look like a balloon. I look like an inflated balloon. Okay. Next on the list, I love this brand. I never heard of it, but it's been around a while. IVKO, I-V-K-O. This is definitely a higher ASP brand. Resells for $50 to $100 pretty reliably. And there are 1,100 available with 280 sold, so not a great sell-through rate, but I think it definitely comes down to the piece, and if I found one for the right price, I'd still pick this brand up. It definitely reminds me of like an old school Anthropologie vibe. It's because they have a lot of, what they're known for is like colorful intarsia knits, which is something that Anthropologie used to sell a lot of, back when they were first founded, however long ago, 20, 30 years ago. And actually they were sold at Anthropologie back in the day, so maybe that's explains some of it. And now they're sometimes sold on Sundance. This brand can retail for a lot of money too. It just really depends on the piece that you find. It was started in the 80s in Yugoslavia. Yeah, I just really thought this brand makes a lot of really beautiful pieces. And so I'm excited to hopefully maybe find it one day. Okay, the next 2 you've probably heard of. I don't know if you found it though. Well, number 9, I have found once. I think it's definitely a LAGENLOOK brand, but my one time finding it, I still haven't sold it. So, but looking through sold, I was like, oh wow, this brand does really well. Maybe it's just not the piece that I found. The brand is Citron, Santa Monica. I think on eBay and Poshmark, it just goes by Citron, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. On eBay, there are 2,600 available and 1,100 sold, so that's not bad. But they're really known for their silk pieces that are colorful and printed, and I think especially plus sizes do the best. But this was actually a brand that was started in Santa Monica in 1999 by a dude, which was, I think it's the only brand on this list started by a man, and his name is Ricky Woolman. He got started in South Africa. But anyway, this is a brand, yeah, you're probably more likely to come across, depending on the piece that you find. It definitely is worth picking up. If you have a plus size section in your Goodwill and you're going through it, Citron is definitely a brand to look out for. Okay, and lastly, I wonder if y'all would even consider this LAGENLOOK. I definitely consider it LAGENLOOK, but this is the Bolo LAGENLOOK brand. and it is Magnolia Pearl. It's kind of where LAGENLOOK meets like really trendy, because people like Taylor Swift wear it a lot. But I couldn't do a LAGENLOOK video without mentioning Magnolia Pearl. I've never found or sold Magnolia Pearl, but I am dying to. It's definitely on my Bolo brand bucket list, and it's just a really high ASP brand, a really great sell-through rate. In fact, it's the only one on the list with a more than 100% sell-through rate, with 1,800 available and 2,900 sold. If you haven't heard of Magnolia Pearl, definitely you want to know about it as a reseller. It has a really high retail, a really high resale. It retails for hundreds of dollars, and then resale can go from anywhere from 75 to, you know, up to like 500 or maybe a little more, depending on how rare the piece is. T-shirts are probably going to be the worst performing items by this brand, but I mean, they'd still be worth picking up. They're probably going to sell in that $75 range. Then the better pieces are going to be the more substantial, rare pieces that like dresses, jackets, jeans, overalls, etc. And they're really known for their like torn and tattered and oversized look with like patchwork detailing or hand printing, etc. So I think it's a brand out of Texas. But yeah, really expensive, really trendy right now. One of the best Bolo brands that exist today. And I really, really, really want to find it. So hopefully after my maternity leave, I can find it. But that is the video, y'all. That was my list of 10 LAGENLOOK brands. Let me know in the comments down below if you learned about any new brands, if you've sold any of these brands, and if you know about any other LAGENLOOK brands that you love selling or you're on the lookout for. Let me know in the comments down below. I had a long list and I picked 10 that I really wanted to cover, but if you really wanted me to do another video like this, I could, because there again are so many LAGENLOOK brands out there. But I hope y'all found this helpful. I'm gonna go shoot another video now. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, love y'all. Bye.